Paul right now. Ron Paul? I can't hear you. What? What? I don't hear you. What year for Ron Paul? What year was that? Who we talking about? What are we talking about? What year are we talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, you have been patient all night long. You have been waiting all night long. And you've been stuck with a New York City councilman all night long. But fortunately for you, you've waited out the time. You are ready to hear from the most important man in America today. You are waiting to hear from the man who's got the liberty message you need right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to start giving it up right now for the man, the myth, the legend, our own Ron Paul. I can't hear you. No, I still can't hear you. I don't think Ron can hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear that Ron Paul. Ron Paul. Ron Paul. I don't hear you. Louder. Louder. Liberty needs to hear you. Ron Paul. You got blood on your face. You big disgrace. Kicking your can all over the place. Singing, we will. Ladies and gentlemen, the distinguished gentleman from Texas, Congressman Ron I never would have believed New York would be such a great place. I've been wondering if the revolution was alive and well, but it sure looks like it's alive and well. And I am delighted to see so many. It's very encouraging. I'm delighted to see so many young people. This revolution is made up with young ideas and young people. You know, a few years ago, I didn't quite understand what was going on. I was still learning a little bit about
the internet and a few other things, but it looks like now the message of liberty spreads very well today, and this to me is wonderful. The groundwork has been laid for a good many years. It hasn't been 2 or 3 or 4 years. It's been 5, 10, and 20 years that the various people have been very much involved in spreading this message. But it's coming together for a certain reason, for a particular reason. One is the message has been laid out there by intellectuals, and that's very, very important. But the other thing that is happening that makes our views so appropriate is now we have proof of the views that have been running this country for about 50 years. They failed and they need something new. We also know that we've heard the story that we should have change made and a few things like that. But I've heard that for a long time. One party would say, we need to get in, we're going to change this. The other one comes along and say, we're going to do this and change it. But the truth is we need some real change in attitudes in this country. We could start off with changing our attitude about what we have in our monetary system, and that required that, of course, we must get rid of the Federal Reserve. Rather naive on television, and they'll say, why don't you like the Fed and why don't you know what they're doing? I said, but it's like they're the counterfeiters. Why should counterfeiting be legal? But it is an important issue, and once in a while the interviewers will get tired of hearing me talk about monetary policy. But just think how many problems we would take care of if the liberals who like to spend money and the conservatives who like to spend money couldn't spend money if the Fed wasn't there to buy up all that debt. The real tragedy of the inflationary system is that early on it doesn't seem to hurt and some people seem to benefit until the bubbles get too big and they burst, and then people suffer and people lose their houses and their jobs. And then when they try to bail out, do they bail out the poor people who've lost their jobs? No, they bail out all the big guys. And then what happens? The consequence finally comes, and that is what we're seeing now, and that is what is going to be a big issue from now on. And that is the cost of printing money means the value of the dollar goes down, which means the prices are going up, and the people are going to get angry, and we better have the right answers for them. Another thing that we've been told about by many who are running for office, and when they get in office they don't do it. You know, in the year 2000 we had a candidate that was running that said that we should have a humble foreign policy and we shouldn't be a nation building. And then we had another one come along, and guess what we get? Here we are, we're continuing the whole process. We cannot solve our problems, we cannot protect our liberties, we cannot restore the republic unless we have radical changes in our foreign policy, which means it's very easy to describe it. Bring all the troops home and take care of American. What would the model be for this? I said, well, why don't we treat all countries like we treat Canada? We're friends, we're neighbors, we go back and forth, more difficulty these days than it used to be, but we go back and forth and we don't send them any foreign aid. They're our biggest trading partners, and trading is good. It is good to trade if you trade with people. I do believe you don't fight with them as much as otherwise. So it is better to trade with people, talk with people, and deal with people in a diplomatic fashion. Rather than us pretending that we can take some of our good values, take our good values and force them on other people. I truly believe. I truly believe we have a lot of good values, but you can't possibly spread good values and good ideas through the barrel of a gun. And we need to Some people ask, how can we get into this mess? Our medical care system is a problem, our educational system has problems, our military has a difficulty. It is because over these many, many decades, we have developed a system not of free markets. You know, today, free people on the from the left will say,